Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you once again with another episode of Age of Heroes, my podcast. And today I want to discuss about the Golden Globes awards that they happen, the Golden Glove awards that happened just on Sunday. And of course, yesterday we heard a lot of commentary. There's a lot of news. You can see that everywhere. There's a lot of clickbait. Of course, you go through your Yahoo page, you go through your mail, your emails, you name it. You go everywhere. You're gonna hear talks about it, pieces from the news. People talking about it. Of course, there's winners, there's losers, and I think the Globes, they had a great, it was a very competitive awards this year. I think there were a lot of great movies. And ultimately, I feel that some deserve to win, some deserve not to win, and the end, some of them it was very tight. So in the end, it was pretty much a gamble. But ultimately, I think it's just it is what it is. It doesn't mean that one movie is better than the other, in my opinion. At the end, because you're the one that determine what's good for you. You're the one that watched the movie, you like it or not, and you just simply make your choice. Nobody can force you to do that, whether they win or not. Some movies, in my opinion, are winners at the end. Now, there were a lot of talks, of course. You saw, of course, people that won. You saw Rami Malek. Rami Malek won as Best Actor in Motion Picture for Drama with the Bohemian Rhapsody. I think he deserved to win. In my opinion, he was good. There were other great actors in this category, but in my opinion, he personified Freddie Mercury really, really well, so he deserved to win. So kudos to that. Yeah, Glenn Close as the wife as a best actress in a motion picture for drama. We also saw Green Book in best motion picture for musical or comedy. Green Book, a phenomenal movie. It won a lot of awards last night, and definitely deserved it. Very good movie. So, we saw a lot of great things. We also saw in other Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón is a Mexican director, very famous, very well known and respected. Some of the best movies of recent years. Sometimes I think he's underrated, but he has been a winner. He has done many phenomenal films, and I haven't watched Roma. Roma, it's definitely one of those films that is very artistic, beautifully designed, in black and white, wide angles. I haven't watched it. It's on Netflix. I heard a lot of great things about it. I'm going to watch it this week because I definitely will. I want to watch it more. It feels that it's a great movie, and of course, I always support my those people from Mexico, like myself, because I'm also Mexican. So I really support my countrymen. So also we have it also won as best motion picture with a foreign language, which in my opinion, I think if they say it's good, it means it's good. Best actor in motion picture for musical or comedy was Christian Bale as Vice, another great movie. Christian Bale really killed it. In my opinion, he deserved to win. Also in this category, was Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. He does well. And I don't know. It was a tie. I think Christian Bale did phenomenal, but Viggo will be a second best, in my opinion. So it happened. So, not only that, Green Book won other awards and other categories, which is, in my opinion, is great. We also saw Best Actress in Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture with Regina King. If Beale Street Could Talk. Although I was going more for Amy Adams as Vice. I love Amy Adams. In my opinion, she's a great actress. But we also saw, in the categories, I'm going through the list here. Best Motion Picture, before I forget. It was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Well-deserved, in my opinion. Phenomenal animated film. Won over Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the best. It was. If you haven't watched the film, check my review of it. I'm telling you, the film is beautiful. It's beautifully shot. And the message is great. It's definitely a phenomenal movie. So I'm very glad that this movie won. It definitely hit the mark, in my opinion. Best performance by an actor in television series. You got Michael Douglas for The Kominsky Method. Michael Douglas, phenomenal artist. So it definitely, actor. It's definitely a great. There were a lot of things there. But the one that really has polarized people, of course, is the best motion picture for drama. And we have Black Panther, which a lot of people say that it didn't deserve to be there. You got Black Klansman, which in my opinion, I don't even know why it was doing there too. Bohemian Rhapsody, which, I think kind of deserved to be there. If Beale Street Could Talk, good movie. A Star is Born, good movie too, according to a lot of people, reviewers. Ultimately, what Bohemian Rhapsody won. And I would say I don't think the movie was that great. But, I think Rami did a phenomenal job as, portraying the character, the main character. I think he held the movie, but I don't think the movie was great. But of course, it seems that sometimes that's what, Hollywood chooses, this type of movies. They love to support this type of stories, or kind of, based on true stories. I don't know, that's how it is, but I think with Black Panther, a lot of people, which really kind of touches me, or what really find a bit, in my opinion, I feel it's sad that people do this. And a lot of people were saying that Black Panther, they're praising, they were happy that Black Panther didn't win. I don't think Black Panther is at the same caliber as some of these movies. At least for what they expected, at least for what you know. But a lot of people are saying that actually the Infinity War, or even Ant-Man and the Wasp, were better movies than Black Panther. They say, well, it's a boring movie. It just it's a lot of political nonsense, and, it just didn't deserve to be there. And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with this because I can tell you one thing. From all the movies that Marvel produced last year, and I'm not counting, Spider-Verse, because actually that's produced by Sony with Marvel, but it's not Marvel Studios. I think from all the movies that Marvel Studios produced last year, in my opinion, Black Panther was the best of the bunch. And I want to clarify this. Because some people might right now disagree with me, saying, Infinity War is a better movie. And in my opinion, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why I feel that way. Probably I don't know if you have read my review. I reviewed this Black Panther when it came out. I reviewed it. I posted my review on my Facebook page. I'm going to have the links below. I have 2 reviews. One is just a simple review, no spoilers. I talk about the film, what I believe about the film, and my score. I scored it 8 out of 10. That was my score. But there's another review where I go more personal, and I talk about the message, in my opinion, what I felt the movie was really all about. The problem what a lot of people are saying is that with the film, with Black Panther, is that it's a lot of political nonsense. They say, well, it's all about trying to always blame the white man for what happened to black people. And in my opinion, and there is certain aspect of that, but, you cannot deny history. First of all, you cannot deny history. It's like saying the Second War never happened and that the Germans or the Nazis were involved in it. We know they did it. Now, just because we mentioned that the Nazis did it and, there's the German connection with the Nazis, does not mean that the Germans are bad people today. It's just history. We have to determine what it is. We're not telling people that they this and that. We are always telling what the history is all about. It's like, what happened with the conquest in, Latin America. When we talk about the conquest in history, it's not like we're trying to put the blame on the Spaniards for what happened, because technically they did it. But the Spaniards today are not at fault of whatever happened years ago. It's just history. We just have to put this and emphasize this and try to filter this with our own personal bias. And I believe that a lot of people see this under personal bias. When people saw that, it talks about history. It talks about it. But what really I found very intriguing about the film is that it's not there just to point fingers, to be in your face, to point that out. It was really a celebration of Africa and its people, and we're talking about African people. We're talking about even the diaspora, we're talking about everyone, all the people that have, that were taken to other parts of the world, even to here to North America, to America. They became, as slaves, but they have become a part of the landscape, part of the culture. They've been here for centuries. They're part of us. It's part of our culture, and also their sufferings. But the movie's not about that. It's never been about that. It talks also about nationalistic views, about the idea that thinking that in order to protect ourselves, we need to kind of close our borders, close our doors, and just live for ourselves. else, and this goes with the thematics right now, or the themes that are happening right now, very nationalistic views are not only here in North America, but in the U.S., but also many parts of the world, where countries are thinking that the best way to resolve the problem is just to simply shut their doors and, just be blind and deaf to the cries of the world, and, that's something that we have to be very careful. Also, you saw that in the movie, but the message, the intrinsic message of the movie, in my opinion, the one that really touched my heart and really is about the situation of the family importance, the importance of fathers and sons, the relationship that builds a nation. I believe so. In my opinion, as a man, I believe that what really saves a nation is not the president, is not the government, is not who is in charge, or whether liberal or conservative is not. It's just the dynamic between fathers and sons, the dynamic between parents and children. That's what builds a nation. The importance of being truthful, the importance of honesty, the importance of owning our own mistakes and learning from those mistakes and allowing our children to grow in the process. I believe that was the central message of the movie that one a lot of people miss. And I believe that was very welcoming. The movie, in my opinion, was more mature than anything else that Marvel has done so far. At least for the thematics, at least for the intent, it was very mature. Yes, it's not for everyone, but if you come to this movie only expecting to see like people shooting lasers and people flying things, that you missed the point. You missed the forest for the trees. And I believe that that's the big point. I love, Infinity War. It's a phenomenal film. It has also a lot of weight, an emotional weight. My only problem with Infinity War is that it's not a full film. It's just part one of a divided film. To be honest, the only way to really determine if it's good in the end is to watch the second part. The film was created with that intent. So it's not a full film, and that's the difference between Black Panther. Black Panther is a standalone film that you can enjoy. It has a message from beginning to end. If they wanted it, there's a second movie coming, but they don't need to create a second movie because they can just leave it the way it is, and that's the way they need it. And this movie really garnished a lot of money. Of course, money doesn't determine the quality of the film. But it's undeniable that the film really touched many subjects in a very, lighthearted manner. It was not there just to criticize, to throw stones at you and say, white people, shame on you for this. No, it's not that. It never did that. And if people are seeing that, that you're doing it in your own bias. It's my opinion. So I don't want to offend anybody here. But if you're looking at it and you only seeing that, then you are missing the forest for the trees. You are not paying attention to the film and the main message of the film. And people say, well, it should be all about entertainment. It's about this. If you want some something that is just numb to the feelings and the senses, then go and watch, I don't know, Aquaman. That's something like that. I love Aquaman, but it's more like numb entertainment. There was a message there, but they couldn't hit it to the mark. And I feel that would happen with Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was a good film, but it was not as good, better than the first one. And I believe that the Infinity War had the potential to be better, but ultimately, the way they manage it, it was not as, I would say, as the way I really wanted to see this film. However, I'm looking for Endgame, and then I can make up my mind. I can decide exactly. Once Endgame hits and we have Endgame and we have Infinity War together, then we'll know the story. Because trying to determine Infinity War for what it was, it's like only reading the Infinity Gauntlet, and only reading the first, only reading the first issues, the 2-3 issues, and just not reading the rest. It's like, that's how I feel. You all in the middle of it. You need to see the ending to really determine, because that's how you really know the Infinite Gauntlet. You understand the book story. The same way this movie will be understood in the end. In my opinion, you can understand it better once you see the ending of the final curtain. So I believe that that's what I'm waiting for. So I believe that in that end, Black Panther was better and it deserves to be nominated, even though it doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't deserve to win, but it deserves the nominations. And I know that we still got to have now the Globes are always a preamble of what's going to come with the Oscars. So I know there's going to be a more tight competition there. And I would not be surprised if even Black Panther does much better there. But, you have to realize that there are other better movies out there, and I don't think this is going to win. At the end of the day, movies are subjective. It means that, everyone takes whatever it takes, and doesn't mean that, your opinion or my opinion is better than any other's opinion. In the end, it's just a matter of, perspective, because art is subjective. Art is art. Something really touches my heart doesn't touch anyone else's heart. What I see, you might not see. And what you see, I might not see. That doesn't mean that something is bad. It doesn't mean that everyone had to have the same idea, because sometimes people assume that just because everyone feels the same way, or because there's more people feeling one way, means that that's the right way to go. That's not true. Numbers don't determine the quality of something. And that the same goes. Every person has a different perspective. And sometimes we have to listen to other people to understand. And I believe that Black Panther has its ways, and I like it. I did enjoy it. I do like Black Panther. If I have to choose a movie of the 3 movies of this year from the MCU, Black Panther, in my opinion, was the better one. And I like Infinity War. I definitely was an epic movie with a lot of action. But ultimately, it's just part 1. And we still need to watch part 2. And when we watch part 2, then I'll make up my mind and realize how good it is, or how bad it is. I will find out. We have to see the final part of it. Kind of like, for example, if you remember the Return of the Dark Knight animated film that was created by DC Comics, of course. They actually they had part 1 and part 2, and they initially had it separated, and but then, of course, they put it all together into one single film. And believe me, if you want to watch that film, watch the one that was combined in the middle, because that's the way you watch the film. And in my opinion, it's one of the best films from DC animated series, from the DC line. And I think I'm hoping, and I would not be surprised if Marvel in the end not only releases Infinity War, and then after Endgame they release Endgame, and after Endgame they release like a movie, like a version where everything is combined without any credits in the middle. Very likely that they'll have it, and you know what? I'm still going to buy it, because, that's how it is. So what do you think? What is your opinion about Black Panther? I know you might disagree with me. I have nothing against it. Everyone has a different opinion. I would like to hear it. It's always good that we can share ideas. In my opinion, it didn't deserve to win last night. So, the awards were reflect the reality of the movies out there. And I don't think Black Panther deserved to be a winner, but that doesn't mean that I'm happy that he lost, or that I'm very upset because he didn't win. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It doesn't change my mind. I enjoy what I enjoy, and I love what I love, whether one win or not, or whether my favorite movie didn't make it till the end. It's just, it's just another day as usual. And, that doesn't change my passion for these films and for this comic book story. So what do you think? I would like to hear it. So, please like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this through my YouTube channel. Please share the podcast. You can download the podcast through the different apps, through Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher. You have the links below. Please share that podcast with your friends so we can grow this channel. Check my reviews of Black Panther. The links are below for my Facebook page. And if you want to help out this channel and my podcast, consider just supporting through my Patreon account. Also, the links are below. So God bless you. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.